I call to order the May 13th meeting of the Bradford City School Board. We're very nice and happy to have all of you here with us tonight. Would you please join me in a moment of silence? Thank you. And now, Ms. Andrews' Model General Assembly group students are going to join and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. They got drafted before you got here. Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And now, Mr. Kelpie, I believe you have a motion to make.
Yes, Madam Chair. I would move that the board approve Gloria Boyd participation in this meeting from a remote location, specifically from her location, I'm assuming at her home.
That's my guess.
Okay. As provided for pursuant to board policy BDD and Virginia Code section 2.2-3708.1.
Are you able to join by phone? Thank you.
Do I have a vote for agreement?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Okay, stand by.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hello, Gloria. Right?
Ms. Boyd,
Yes.
want to make sure that we're connected, and greetings from the school board meeting.
I miss you guys.
Our next agenda item is review and approval of our agenda. Have all of you had a chance to review the agenda for tonight? Any questions, discussions, additions? If not, then we are down to schools.
Motion to approve.
Huh?
Need to move to approve,
Oh, yeah.
to accept this.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Madam
Are
Chair, I move that we accept the agenda as presented.
Okay. Do I have a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Now we're down to school and student showcase.
Thank you very much. So tonight is a really special night for Radford City Public Schools. We have some of our very best teachers that are retiring at the end of this year. And that's always a bittersweet moment for those folks as well as for us. We are sad to see them go, but we're very proud of the jobs that they have done while they've been here. And tonight is all about recognizing those folks that are with us tonight. Not every principal has a retiree, but two have some very special retirees. We also have a very special retiree here at the school board office. So I want to pause there and thank Mr. Mook for all, and his students, for all of these refreshments that you enjoyed in the hallway. It was probably his best work yet. I heard a lot of complimentary feedback, and so I'm glad, and I hope that you were able to eat some of that, because we need to get rid of a lot of it. If you, that didn't sound right, but if you would just take some on your way in and out. Trips to the bathroom, whatever it is, please, each trip in and out, take a plate. But we appreciate his efforts tonight. So we'll begin with central office. And at central office, we are about to say goodbye to, I really want to make eye contact with her. Where is she? Yeah, there you are, to a very special lady, a lady that I got to know really well in Pulaski County. She has been serving kids her entire career. And there's nothing more satisfying than a student with a full belly that becomes a little more content after they eat. So we appreciate, and that's a really quick way to say thank you for what you and your team have done, but especially you over the years to keep us healthy and fed and going above and beyond really what is expected of a school nutrition person. And so I appreciate that very much. But now Dr. McDaniel has prepared some remarks for our very own Connie Wood. And I think that Ms. Wood should have to stand with Dr. McDaniel and show off that pretty smile. Yes, ma'am.
That's okay for now, but we're gonna make you get up in front and center in a minute. Well, I had some help with this because, I haven't known Connie for a long time, but actually before coming to Radford, I heard about Connie from a mutual friend of ours who, I think you're his godmother, maybe? Yeah. So I heard some stories about Connie, but I won't share all those. No, truly, he very much respects and cares for Connie, and he told me that I was going to love working with her, and he was absolutely right. But Connie does love to have a good time and pick on people and joke around, but she's also very serious and can be very serious, and she's a joy to work with. And while she might be counting down the days, and I think she may have been doing that since about September, we are sad to say that our days with her as part of our team are coming to an end. Connie joined our division in 2017 during a time of significant transition. She stepped into a challenging situation with determination and quickly set to work, bringing stability and improvement. Through her exceptional leadership and dedication, she successfully guided the program out of a negative financial position. During her time with us, Connie has also spearheaded efforts to enhance our facilities, securing new tables and a modern serving line at the high school. Her contributions have had a lasting and positive impact on our division, and we are deeply grateful for her commitment and service. And she truly does have a servant's heart. There's been many days she's been behind the line in the cafeteria, even as in her position now. So she has been a wonderful servant of Radford City Schools, and we thank you, Connie. And now you gotta come up here. We have a few gifts for you.
How many days is it?
11. These are gifts made by staff and students. And you can pick flower. Okay. Thank you.
Connie, thank you very much.
Thank you. I got my phones over there, so I can put your pictures. Great. Thank you.
All right, next up, I'd like to bring Mr. Simpson from the high school to the podium. He has a few folks that are retiring as well.
Well, good evening, and I have the pleasure of recognizing and celebrating, but saying goodbye, as Dr. Joy said, bittersweet, two of our fantastic teachers, Mr. Caro and Ms. Snyder. So we'll start with Mr. Caro, if you want to stand up. Tonight we honor Mr. Mike Caro, a truly dedicated educator and coach, as he retires after 26 years in education, 23 of them at Radford High School. Mr. Caro began his teaching career at rival Floyd County High School before finding his home here at RHS. In the classroom, he's known as a master teacher, clear, thorough, and deeply committed to student success. When asked what has been the most rewarding thing about his career, Mr. Caro said, "My goal as a teacher has always been to prepare a student for higher education. So when I see a student that has graduated around town and they tell me that I made their college math so much easier, I feel that I did my job." As a coach, Mr. Caro built one of the most successful cross-country programs in our school's history. He led teams to 8 state championships, including a historic first win for the boys team and 4 straight titles for the girls. His ability to recruit students, often spotting talent just walking the halls, was unmatched. As Mr. Hickam said, you'd see a mob of kids running the streets of Radford because he had recruited so many. In 2023, he was inducted into the RHS Hall of Fame, a fitting tribute to a remarkable career. When asked what he's most looking forward to in retirement, he said, "No more grading papers." Mr. Caro, thank you for your service to our school and our students and for the many hours you spent diligently grading and giving kids meaningful feedback on their learning. As a fellow math teacher, I've been there, I understand. Congratulations and enjoy every minute of your retirement. All right, tonight we also celebrate the retirement of Miss Becky Snyder. You want to stand up? So Ms. Snyder, whose 30-year teaching career, 27 of those in Radford City, has left a lasting impact on generations of students and colleagues alike. Becky began her career in New Kent County before joining Radford City Schools, where she taught across all 4 of our schools in various roles, including 6th grade teacher, gifted coordinator, and middle and high school English teacher. For the past 8 years, she's been a beloved member of the Radford High School faculty, a return to her roots as a proud RHS graduate class of '88. Becky created a classroom space where students could express themselves, explore the power of literature, and develop a lifelong love for language and critical thinking. When asked what has been the most rewarding part of her career, she said, building relationships with students and watching them grow and work hard to succeed. She also enjoyed working in the school system as her own children were growing up and getting to be a part of their school careers. Her colleagues speak of her with admiration, not just for her dedication and skill, but for the generosity she showed in mentoring others, whether it was sharing resources, offering advice, or simply listening. Becky has been a steady and compassionate source of support for her colleagues. Now, as she looks forward to a more flexible family schedule, especially with her grandson, who is, oh, they left. Okay, he was here earlier.
We all got to meet the grandson.
We know that Becky's legacy will continue to echo in the halls of Radford High, and we're hopeful that we'll see her next year, perhaps as a substitute here and there, a reliable maybe. That's a maybe.
Do you
I'll take
have
that.
those forms to sign for the? Okay, good.
So Becky, thank you for your many years of service in Radford City Schools and your heart for students. You've made RHS a better place, and we wish you all the best in this next chapter.
Thank you, Mr. Simpson. Mr. Keister, I understand you have a retiree at your school?
I do, and we're actually going to double team this one. Mr. Hill's going to join me up here as well. Come on, Mr. Hill.
Was that his cue?
That's his cue, I think. Did you want to start or you want me to start? You're going okay. All right. So we are here to recognize Ann Goodman. So if Ann Goodman will stand up. Yeah. So I've not only had the pleasure and opportunity to work with Ann professionally, but her and her family have become close friends with my own family. Oh, okay. Sorry. Thought I was in the way. They had a next door neighbor that was going to put a house on the market, and if I'm not mistaken, he had a contract on the house, but it actually fell through. Ann approached me, and I believe it was at a Radford High School basketball game, to persuade me to look at this house. So I'm not sure. It may have been my mom who sent her on this task because I was currently living at my mom's house. But eventually ended up buying the house. So we became neighbors. And at this time, our friendship between her family and my family began to grow. Ann and her family were not only there when I got married, but were also there when my family continued to grow with the birth of both of my children. We would often come over to each other's house and sit and chat, or just have a neighborhood get-together in the yard with the neighbors to the right of my house. She was on the left. We may have stayed in the yard to wear my children out before bedtime. My son would often want for someone to time him to see how fast he could run to the tree and back. I'm not sure how many times he would do this, but he would always get faster, even if he didn't run faster. The tree may no longer be there. It has since been cut down by the people who purchased the house from us, but the friendship and the memories of being her neighbor haven't left. Oh, and my son continues to still run, no longer to the tree and back, but now around the track and circles. A fun fact about Ann and my educational career that I figured out today when speaking with Ann is today that all of her 40 years in education in the city of Radford, she began telling me this story. She said that the story of how she got the job back in the spring of '85 also began my journey in the city of Radford around the same time. I started in kindergarten in the fall of 1985. So both of our educational careers had led us to McHarg 40 years later. Only I have a few more to go. I did ask a couple of Ann's colleagues and friends to share something tonight with us that they found special about her. And Blenna Patterson and Kelly Wheeler had this to say. Ann is not only a speech pathologist in a silo. During her whole career, she's been actively involved in any school initiative or event and always willing to jump in and help whoever or whatever where she's needed. As a lifelong learner, she participated in the Teachers as Learners group alongside classroom teachers to better understand developmental reading and writing and how oral language supports literacy success. This has made her a valuable member of the schools in which she's worked. The staff value her work ethic and dependability. She's always an ear to listen, analytically and quickly sees paths to solve problems. When brainstorming about an event, she will have it organized and decorated before the meeting is over. Ann's contributions to the climate of the school will be missed. Her style of valuing relationships is a rare commodity. McHarg is better because of her. It's no doubt that McHarg is a better place because of Ann's commitment and devotion that she has poured into Radford City Schools. All the children, all the faculty and staff, the different administrators that have all been touched in some way are better off because of this dedication. I would like to wish her well as she rides off into the sunset, but I think we all know Ann won't be complete if she's not doing something with children. Whether it is a sub or a volunteer, Ann will find her way to continue to touch the lives of many more students and make Radford and McHarg the fantastic place that it is.
I can't follow that. So I was born in the spring of '86. So. No, Ann, she is. I've got a speech, but really, it's Ann needs very little supervision. She knows so much about everything pertaining to this job, and I'm just when I need help, I call her. About anything really in special education, she knows the answer. Then 40 years you've seen a lot. So yeah. All right. So it is a true honor to recognize and celebrate the incredible career of Ann Goodman, who is retiring after 40 remarkable years as a speech language pathologist. 4 decades of service is a remarkable accomplishment. But it's not just the number of years that make Ann's career so meaningful. It is the profound impact she's had on countless students, families, and colleagues. Through her unwavering dedication, Ann has helped give voice, quite literally, to generations of students. In addition to her work as an SLP, Ann has also served as our Parent Resource Center, offering valuable support and guidance to families navigating the special ed process. Most recently, we have to have a CAC committee, and it's not a fun committee, but I asked Ann to chair that committee, and she's done a great job. Chairing that committee, but in that committee provides all kinds of leadership and just support to our students, our faculty, our families, and she just took off in that role. All these things that she does, it really reflects Ann's deep commitment to our parents and our community, in making sure those families are truly seen and heard and supported. Beyond the therapy room, Ann has been a mentor and a trusted teammate and a role model. Those of us who have had the privilege to work with Ann know her definition of dedication. She is a tireless worker who cares deeply about students and the quality of her work. Whether it's stepping up to help whenever needed about anything, she's there. She mentors new teachers and mentors administrators, and she's just such a reliable teammate to any committee she's on. And as you step into a well-earned retirement, we know she leaves behind a legacy of compassion, skill, and lasting influence that will continue to resonate through our schools for years to come. Thank you for everything. You will be deeply missed, but you will remain a legacy in McHarg and Radford City Schools.
Hey, Jane, we're going to get a picture of the board. When she's done taking a picture, we'll get all the board. Could I ask all 4 retirees to come back up and let's get a picture with the school board, please? And while they do that, I want to thank the families for all that you have sacrificed while these teachers work so hard year in and year out. It's not lost on us that teachers are great educators, but families are great supporters, so we appreciate that. I was planning on it.
Now we got it.
All right. Sorry. I don't see any retirees that are old enough to retire, personally. Very young looking group. Keep us in mind when you see the ad for substitutes running in the news journal. I know. And the boards that you see were crafted by Brian Dye, one of our own. And if you're interested and you're not retiring, you can go down to it's called the Firehouse Gallery, am I right? I think he has a section of that gallery down on Main Street where you can see all of the things that he's
And they're
put together. They are beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so if you're not retiring, that's how you can get one of the boards. And we also want to thank our folks in the CTE, our staff and students in the CTE department for putting together the Rockin' R's. All right, excellent. Thank you very much. Next up, I would like to welcome to the podium Ms. Carol Andrews and a fine-looking group of kids that she has with her tonight. As a civics teacher, I truly respect the Model General Assembly trip. Been involved with those plenty of times, and so I'm anxious to hear how things went for you guys. Ms. Andrews, thank you.
Well, good evening. Thank you for allowing us to speak about our trip this year to Model General Assembly in Richmond, April the 6th to the 8th. And I have 6 students here who were able to come. I'm glad some of the sports got canceled today, so some of the baseball players were able to come. Some were not able to be here. We had 13 students that attended MGA this year, and it's such a wonderful program. And I'm going to let Abby and Mason speak. They're my co-presidents. Abby prepared the slideshow that you're going to see because Mason was supposed to be playing baseball, but he can chip in too because he's one of the co-presidents. So go right ahead.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Abigail Hodak, as Ms. Andrews said, and I'm a senior at Radford High School. Today, I'm hopefully going to give what will be a quick presentation on one of the clubs that we offer called Youth in Government. So, getting straight into things, the main focus of our club is the yearly assembly we attend called MGA. Now, MGA is a mock version of Virginia's legislative body. Students from all over Virginia meet each year in Richmond to create, debate, and pass bills of our own. MGA as an organization held its first assembly back in 1948, making this year the 77th year of operation. Unfortunately, when the pandemic hit, a lot of things changed for MGA and many other clubs. The Radford Youth and Government Club, as a result of COVID, had not sent any students to MGA for the 3 years following the pandemic. That was until my sophomore year. When I was working with Senora Andrews on a project for another club, she asked me what I thought of MGA and said that she would like to restart the club at our high school. Later that year, 2023, we were successfully able to send a group to Richmond, and my love for MGA began. Now, I'm sure by this point you all kind of know, I've said it over and over, MGA is the main focus of our group, but I'd like to share a little of what we do throughout the year to prepare for this event, starting at the beginning of the school year, when we try to advertise our club to as many people as possible, and this year, we only got 13, but we're hoping for more. So we usually make flyers, we put announcements on the Bobcast, and I think I've tried to convince all of my friends to join at least once because I think it is an incredible experience. I also got invited to go to some middle school classrooms last year and give a presentation to some upcoming freshmen. So usually once we have all of our members for the year, this year we had 13, which I think I've said 3 times now, we hold a meeting once or twice a month where we discuss the etiquette of and what to expect at MGA. In these meetings, we also elect our club officers, which this year were Emma Rakuya as our secretary, Giles Lard as our treasurer, Hayden Joyce as our vice president, and me and Mason are co-presidents. This year, we also had 2 bill patrons. For Senate Bill 21 was Ellie Steele and Mason Murphy, and House Bill 18 was my bill, which I did alongside Elizabeth Woolery. So we started working on these bills all the way back in November, and believe me, it's not an easy process. Trying to find something you're passionate enough to write a bill about is hard enough on its own, but then actually writing the bill is such a pain in the butt. Mason and Ellie eventually decided on a bill drafted to mandate that every school include an elevator to remain in compliance with ADA standards. Now, there's more to this bill, but I didn't write it, so I don't really have all the details. Elizabeth and me decided on a bill that is intended to better inform parents entering into entrustment agreements by mandating that child placing agencies and relating agencies provide written information about resources and available alternatives to parents prior to the agreement. Now, if you're wondering how our time at MGA was spent, here's a little brief overview. On the first day, we arrived just in time for the opening session at St. Paul's Chapel and the first set of meetings which followed. That night, we got to enjoy an entertainment night with other students where there were games, a picture area, and even karaoke. The next morning, after breakfast, we headed over to the Capitol for committee meetings. Following those meetings, we had even more meetings to hear bills in the Capitol chamber. We then had a small break for lunch before returning to our afternoon bill session. We ended the day with a huge dinner and trivia night. On the next morning, we went back to the Capitol for more committee meetings, and then off to hear bills that had crossed over between chambers. Once all the bills had finished on both floors, we waited for the governor to veto any bills. She made her decisions on which bills to sign and which to veto, and then we held an override session. To end the day, we once again went to the chapel where the governor announced the final list of signed and vetoed bills and introduced the new officers for the following year that we elected. Seniors also received their cords on that day for attending MGA. This year, both bills presented by our school were passed all the way through with no amendments. House Bill 18, which is mine and Elizabeth's, passed easily through committee meetings in both the Senate and House, but faced debate on the House floor, where Ellie and Elizabeth were serving as delegates. Eventually, it was signed into law by the MGA student governor. Now on to Senate Bill 21, which had a slightly harder time. It made its way through the first round of committee meetings with no problems, but faced much debate on both chamber floors. Despite this, it was still passed all the way through, only to then be vetoed by the governor. Fortunately, the Senate, which Mason and I were a part of, eventually overrode that decision, and the bill was signed into law. Overall, I believe that MGA provides a unique experience for every student that attends. The opportunity to meet so many students from all across Virginia, engage in meaningful debate, and present in front of a large audience is what I believe makes it such a valuable and memorable opportunity. With this being my 3rd and last year at MGA, I can confidently say that MGA has definitely helped me with my public speaking, believe it or not, as well as my critical thinking and networking abilities. These skills I've learned are useful, and I will carry them with me throughout my future career. I would also like to encourage any student interested to just give MGA a shot. It seems a little nerdy at first, but I promise it's fun. And I'd also like to thank Senora Andrews, as well as Radford High School and the school board for affording our students this wonderful opportunity. And thank you guys for putting up with my presentation.
So will you guys, I'm sorry, Ms. Andrews, will you guys pay real close attention to the sessions from now on because you've been there and done that? It means a little more to you, correct? All right, good. That's great.
Does anybody want to say anything else here? Does Mason want to say anything? I'm going to make him stand here for just a minute because I do want to point out that Hayden and Lillian and Mason and Giles and Abby are all legacies because they had siblings that have attended MGA in the past. So I think that's where they got their interest in MGA. They did a wonderful job. Could you go back to one of the pictures of them all dressed up? Because I really want to brag about how nice they look. Because we pound that into them about appropriate attire. And anyway, I thought they looked wonderful. I like the one outside the St. Paul's Chapel. I told the guys they looked like Secret Service standing there, the way they were standing. I thought it was really nice right there. But they do a fabulous job. They present themselves and they represent Radford High School in such an incredible way. And the bill that got vetoed, Abby stepped up and really just took it head on and pushed it through. So that's what's wonderful. I myself have learned so much about our state government and how bills go through, and it was an aha moment for me back when I was helping Mrs. Argabright, Elaine Argabright. I'd like to give a shout out to her. She couldn't be here tonight, but when she was a history and government teacher at Radford High School, she asked me to help her with youth and government, and that kind of got my interest in this club. And when she retired, I decided I wanted to keep going with it. And I'm really glad that these students, when they were sophomores, these right there, had an interest in going because they didn't know what they were stepping into. We had a lot of changes this year. It was changed from the Virginia YMCA to the Youth and Government Association. A lot of changes, and they just went with the changes, a lot of different things, but they did a wonderful job. And I think probably the highlight for them was being in the Capitol building, because the Virginia Capitol is just absolutely beautiful. They got to sit at the desk, they got to see where our delegates and senators do bills, pass bills, and they learned the crossover process, the veto process, how lobbyists work, what the governor does, all the different offices. So once again, we would like to thank you all for your support for our club and having confidence in us to go to Richmond and do this every year. Thank you.
Any state politicians amongst us now?
And to
Maybe?
think I knew Giles Lawrence when this tall.
Probably Bella County from the past.
Thank you all. All right, let's stay at the high school for just a moment and hear from Mr. Colin Barron. All things Bobcats.
All things Bobcats indeed. Let's get right into it. Unfortunately, today will be my last presentation because another school board representative will be elected very, very soon. But it's a bittersweet moment. So I'm going to start it the way I started it at the very beginning of the year. Good evening, school board. My name is Colin Barron, and I served as the high school representative for the 2024-2025 school year. I had the honor of representing RHS and getting to speak about all things on their behalf. Today marks my final school board meeting as the high school representative, and I would just like to take a moment to say thank you all for allowing me to speak on the high school's behalf for all this time. As the school year is winding down, the students are preparing for the final stretch of the year. SOL testing week began this week, and boy, are we excited. You know? It's our last test of the year, and after this, it's a breeze. Let's see, Radford High School is finishing this year very, very strong. Students are coming in very prepared for these SOLs, and we have the teachers to thank for that. In some sports news, we are finishing the year strong very much there. We have the boys and girls tennis teams. They have been killing it lately. In fact, the boys team just took on their rivals last night, Glenver, and came out on top. Whoop whoop, as the youths say. Let's see, the boys, girls, and soccer teams are also keeping a great record this season. The boys team is currently sitting at a 9-3 win-lose ratio, and the girls team is at a 7-4-2 ratio, which is win-lose and tie. These records are looking great, and if they keep it up, they are on track to head toward the state championship. In other events, the Bobcat Theater Company wrapped their production of The Little Mermaid in April, and they will be holding the thespian induction ceremony next week, I believe on Thursday. The Bobcat Choirs had their end-of-the-year concert last week on May 6th, and the Radford High School Band Department also put on their end-of-the-year concert at the first of the month. Finishing off the year, the seniors just had their last in-person day yesterday on Monday. It was a very bittersweet moment for all of us. However, we are all super excited for our last activities in high school, which begin tomorrow, with the senior video showing at the Radford Theater downtown. Admission will be free, and the video will begin at 7 p.m. That was put together by our media productions team, and they always do a wonderful job. The seniors will also be attending the academic awards ceremony on Thursday, and beginning next week, we will have a senior breakfast on Tuesday, the sports banquet on Wednesday, and our senior walk through Radford High School and Dalton Intermediate, Belheath, and McHarg. This senior walk will take place on Friday morning of next week, hopefully the day we graduate. If weather permits, we will be graduating on Friday, May 23rd that evening. And if not, it would, I believe it's going to be moved to Saturday morning or Saturday evening.
Well, Bobcat Stadium is playing A, B, and C.
A, B, and C, wonderful.
Yes.
Here's hoping it's Friday. My dad has work Saturday. All
Oh,
right.
no.
All right. The last day of school for all of the grades, K through 11, is on May the 30th. Before I wrap things up, there's a very special shout out I would like to give to Mr. Adam Simpson, our principal at Radford High School, who is having a birthday tomorrow. I'm not sure how old he's turning, probably 25. But happy early birthday, Mr.
I was
Simpson.
going to say 50. I was going to guess 50, but
Really?
maybe somewhere in between.
He's a fine-looking gentleman, you know? Happy birthday, Mr. Simpson. Also, I was going to thank all of the retirees. All four have had a very big impact on my life especially, and I can't imagine the rest of the impact on the rest of the students at RCPS. They are no longer here. I assume that they are going to celebrate retirement a little bit early, and I don't blame them at all. To wrap up this update, I'd like to show my appreciation to you board members. Thank you for all being so welcome at every meeting and allowing me to speak on behalf of the high school. It's been a pleasure. Thank you all, everyone who has attended all of the school board meetings this year, who have made it possible for such a great year, and I look forward to seeing you all sometime in the future. Until we meet again, as always, go Bobcats. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Colin. Thank you. Colin's done a wonderful job this year, and we appreciate that very much. All right, Ms. Geralds can't be here, but since our last meeting, I think the trophy banner, the attendance trophy and banner have swapped spots. Where's Mr. Yeah, there's Mr. Keister. Mr. Keister gave it the whoop whoop. And where did the banner come from and the trophy?
It came from Dalton. They cheated to get it back last month.
Oh,
It's in its rightful place.
okay, okay. Well, you guys will have to pick things up with the August trophy and banner. But I appreciate all the hard work that, there's a picture of our McCarg folks, all the hard work that went into this attendance contest is a big word. We appreciate all your efforts to keep kids in school. That's where we know that they belong, and the efforts of Ms. Geralds has not gone unnoticed. But we appreciate especially the parents getting their kids to school every day and helping that trophy and banner make its way around the division. So thank you very much. Mr. Keister, enjoy. I suppose you'll keep it all summer. Yeah, okay. All right, so if someone has to take it from Mr. Keister in September. All right, Ms. Swing, thank you. That's all I had.
Okay, that's a very bittersweet night. Colin, on behalf of the board, I'd like to thank you for all of the thought and effort and energy you put in keeping us well informed of what's going on at the high school.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. And the other students left, but we want to thank them for representing us so well as the pictures and documentation show. So just more reason for us to be proud of the students in our system. And we thank their parents and all of those that support them to help them take part and be a part of our system. Okay, so we're down to our consent items for tonight. We have 3 sets of minutes to approve. Shall we do them individually? Or, yeah, thank
All of the consent items?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all of the consent items we have, the superintendent's authority bills, overnight field trips, school facilities, and do I have a motion to approve the consent items?
I'll
So
make a
moved.
motion, sorry, to approve the consent items.
Second?
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, our consent items are approved. Do we have any?
Yes, you do.
Okay, tonight we have one parent who would like to speak to the gathered group here, Miss Dodie Woodard, excuse me.
It's a common mistake, it's fine. Good evening. My name is Dodie Woodard. I'm a speech language pathologist, and I own a small business in our community where I employ about 10 people. We serve the Birth to 3 community and ours and 7 surrounding counties. I work very closely with various school systems on a weekly basis, and I'm in my 17th year of being a Bobcat parent. I've given countless hours and thousands of dollars in support over the years. What brings me here this evening is that I'm incredibly concerned regarding the leadership in our school community, specifically at Belle Heath Elementary School. I'm sure that you're aware that a child's life was threatened at Belle Heath, a child that I happen to love like my own. There was a time when I believed that there was no school that was as serious about the safety and education of our students as Belle Heath Elementary School. I don't believe that to be true today. As an administrator of my own business, I require strong leadership skills from each of my employees, and those traits that I demand are accountability, empathy, and strong communication skills. At one time, Belle Heath Elementary represented exemplary leadership, and parents truly felt that children were safe and well protected. What I see in the administration now is indecisiveness, lack of accountability, and extremely poor communication. Ensuring parents that their child is safe at school should be a basic principle of our system. This child missed many consecutive days of school for the simple fact that these assurances were not made to her parents. Leadership in a system the size of ours comes straight from the top. I see a superintendent who will show up to community events but does not try to meet folks or integrate into the community. A superintendent who wasted months on a witch hunt involving a very strong teacher but didn't have the courage or empathy to call a parent after her child's life was threatened. And a superintendent who writes, and I quote, "A commitment to excellence includes creating a safe and supportive learning environment where every student feels valued, respected, and empowered to reach their full potential. But when the rubber meets the road, allows an administration to create a situation which an innocent child is fearful to attend school, all while the child posing the threats is rewarded with treats from his teacher." From a professional standpoint, I do not see that the administration at Belle Heath Elementary School is mature enough to keep our children safe. As a mother, I'm terrified. You can hear it in my voice. And from where I'm standing as a community member, I'm not sure that a superintendent who won't reach out to the parent after it happened really cares that much. I'm asking the board tonight to seriously investigate these concerns and to ensure that the administration in our city has the leadership and communication skills that are needed to keep our children safe. Thank you.
And that's the only
Okay, thank you.
person on the list. Report of superintendent.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. I'll begin tonight with a quick update from the budget from the state point of view. On Friday, May 2nd, Governor Youngkin took final actions on House Bill 1600, the Appropriation Act. There were no changes in the final budget to the early childhood items that typically impact public schools, primarily the Virginia Preschool Initiative, as VPI as we call it. The fiscal year 26 budget includes the largest ever state general fund investment in early childhood, including sustaining VPI at levels similar to last year. Also, the VDOE received positive news from the U.S. Department of Education on May 2nd regarding the appeal submitted for the continuation of the high-intensity personalized tutoring platforms this summer and next school year. Virginia's appeal to allow for the continuation of all-in Virginia high-intensity personalized tutoring in math through Zern and high-intensity personalized tutoring in reading through Ignite and Lexia during the 25-26 academic school year was approved. These tutoring platforms provide mathematics and reading tutoring directly to students and are critical tools to help accelerate learning recovery. So that is great news. Also, there was mention of a teacher and staff bonus for SOQ positions that we'll get into in just a little bit. Okay, so that's briefly the budget update. So that changes nothing for us. Our budget is as is and stays intact. Summer school, quickly. Summer school dates have been set. Week 1 will be June 9 through 12. Week 2 will be the 16th, 17th, and 18th as schools are closed for Juneteenth on the 19th. And then week 3 will be the 23rd through the 26th. Secondary hours are 8 to 12 with elementary hours 8:30 to 12:30. Also want to remind you that offices and schools will be closed on Juneteenth. And during the July 4th week, where the 4th falls on a Friday, when this division is normally closed, we will recognize the 4th on the 3rd. Okay? Our enrollment report, Mr. Howard, if you could pull up our enrollment report. Thank you. I won't read those numbers to you, but holding steady as the year comes to a close. 1635 with our residential in-person, 1833 for our virtual students, including those that live in the city of Radford, as well as our Stride K-12 students, for a total of 3468. Thank you, Mr. Howard. The attendance report, and if you don't mind, just go ahead and click on the link for the attendance report. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the incidents. We'll do it first. We'll go through the incidents first. Okay, so April of 24 at 37 incident reports from McCarg, a drastic drop for April.
Wow.
So that's good for that staff and student at McCarg. Bell Heath.
Okay, sorry, wrong one.
It's all right.
I can't read the screen.
Right there at the same numbers as last year, so we'll take that every day. Thank you. Dalton, a significant drop from the year before with 19. We appreciate those students and staff and administrators. And the high school, again, well below last year's number of 27 with 16. So great job as we head towards the end of the year when all sorts of things can break loose. They've done a great job with that. Our attendance numbers for April of 2025, solidly in the 90s with the high school. I don't know if spring fever may have something to do with that, Mr. Simpson, but we're still in the 90s, and we're very proud of the jobs that the kids, families, teachers, staff, and administration do at each school. Ms. Gerald's been busy tracking attendance issues, as it were, and there you see what she's been up to the last month, or during last month. And if there are no questions about my report, that'll wrap it up. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. We are now looking for reports from board members. Any new business or activity to report?
I always have something.
Amanda,
but I'll
you-
just,
Good.
I always have something, but I'll be glad to wait. So if anybody else. On April 14th, I attended the Special Education Advisory Committee meeting. Mr. Hill presented his budget. He had presented it here at the school board meeting, but I had missed because of COVID. So it was really nice to be able to see that at that meeting. He had an outstanding presentation, and his hard work is so appreciated. And then on April 24th, I attended the VSBA webinar on conducting effective internal investigations, led by experts from McGuire Woods. The session really emphasized the importance of a good investigation and an investigator, someone who is accurate, objective, thorough, fair, and organized. They talked about the key steps in conducting an investigation, like gathering information collaboratively. That was not easy for me to say. Drawing solid evidence-based conclusions and thoroughly documenting everything. The presenters also stressed the importance of setting a high bar for every investigation and thinking about how the findings might impact the organization, staff morale, and public trust. Communicating the results carefully and planning follow-up actions are crucial to ensure accountability and ongoing improvement. Overall, the webinar provided practical guidance on the steps and timelines involved in handling investigations effectively, all while fostering a culture of safety, transparency, and ethical behavior. And then on May 1st, I attended the Radford City Schools Band Concert under the direction of Daniel Frankenberger and George Saunders. These kids just truly impressed everyone with their dedication and talent. It's really inspiring to see how much they improve in just one school year, and I just feel really fortunate that I've been able to witness that. And so if you haven't had a chance to go to any of the band concerts, you really need to go. That's all I had. I'm sorry it took so long.
Mr. Calfee.
Since the last time I was here, and my apologies for missing the last board meeting, but we actually did have the virtual academy meeting. It's actually a very lengthy meeting this past time. It went an entire 17 minutes because I will tell you, part of the virtual process is they are extremely efficient. So we get on the call, we get things done, and we move on. It's interesting. So if you ever have the opportunity, you want to join one of those, let me know, and we'll certainly have you in as a guest to listen in. But a lot of information went really quickly. The virtual academy is moving right along in a great fashion, in my opinion. So it's fantastic to see. Certainly wanted to say a thank you to, once again, to Ms. Wood, to Mr. Cairo, and to Ms. Snyder and Ms. Goodwin, as well as to Colin. I think it is remarkable and inspiring to see just what our Bobcat family does. You know, just as we have one person who is transitioning out of the role, I am confident that we have people who are ready, willing, and able to step into that role as seamlessly as possible, and often because of the inspiration of those who have gone before them. So that's what it's all about. That's what family really means. You know, the next generation is inspired by the previous generation, and that's what makes it all work. I agree with Senora that certainly the students in our youth in government are part of that inspiration. It is not an easy thing. I want to sing their praises, because if you have two bills that are conceived, produced, and passed, folks, if you don't know, that is like winning the lottery back to back. Okay, it really is. Although one was vetoed, frankly, I'll go on record by saying shame on whatever governor decided to veto a Bobcat bill. That's just horrifying, and I think we vote for no confidence in that person immediately. But I'm always inspired by those students, and it does become a inspiring thing. I can tell you from firsthand in my family, my daughter was inspired by youth in government at MGA and has gone on to even some national positions at this point in time while she's in college. And I believe firmly it prepared her for that. So my little plug for MGA and youth in government. If you haven't looked into it, please do. You know, if you have any interest whatsoever, if you feel like you don't speak well publicly, jump on it. Trust me, you'll enjoy the experience, and it is a lot of fun. So with that, that's really what I had at this point. Just, it's fantastic. It's a busy time of year. Actually, New River Community College has their first graduation ceremony tomorrow. Well, 2 ceremonies tomorrow. I'll be up there starting at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then staying on through the evening. It's usually about 9 o'clock before we get out of there. But then, I believe it's Thursday, they have the medical students going through for their graduation and pending ceremony. So congratulations to all those folks. And all of our Bobcats are going through that process as well. It's always great to see them do that. But that's all I had.
I just got one thing. I know Mr. Simpson sent out an email to everyone about our after prom party. And me and my wife got tasked to do a scene, so to speak, and we didn't fight or argue about it. I can't believe it. But anyway, that was a tremendous amount of work that was involved with that, and I just wanted to thank everyone that was involved. I know the kids had an outstanding time. The DJ was excellent. Just couldn't ask for anything better. The food was good. It was just a great atmosphere for our students, and I know they had a great time. But I just want to let everybody know that I appreciate them helping, and that's what a community does, and I love seeing it. But thank you so much.
We now move to action items. Our first item is bonuses 2024 to 2025. The budget that Governor Youngkin signed into law on May 2nd authorized $134.4 million from the general fund in the fiscal year 25 to school divisions for bonus payments to instructional and support personnel. The state payment to school divisions is based on the cost of $1,000 bonus payments to SOQ-funded positions. The Virginia Department of Education will make the payments to school divisions no later than June 1. School divisions have the authority to amend the bonus paid per employee to maximize the funds to promote retention among instructional and support positions. No local match is required to receive these funds. Tonight, I would suggest that Radford City School Board consider awarding an additional $500 bonus for a total of $1,500 funding for all full-time staff, those SOQ positions, as well as non-SOQ personnel who are working 5 or more hours per day, and a $750 bonus to part-time staff those working less than 5 hours per day. These bonuses would be made available to full-time and part-time staff, provided they were employed by November 1, 2024, and remain actively employed as of May 5th, 2025. Additionally, I propose a $250 bonus for substitute teachers who were employed by November 1, 2024, actively employed as of May 5th, 2025, and have worked at least 60 school days by May 15, 2025. I now ask the board if they are in favor of this to present a motion.
So moved.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
You had two. So
I have two. Any discussion? All those in favor? Oh, Gloria,
Yes.
did you want to say something?
No.
Okay, I'm sorry. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No? I thought not. The motion passes. Congratulations, staff. You've earned every penny of it. Okay. Surplus items?
That should have been in your packet.
I think it was.
Did you have a chance to look over it? And are there any questions?
Dr. Joyce, forgive me. I think I ask this every year when this comes up, but have we checked with any of our local agencies or other areas that may be able to use these products?
So
I think
it would
last year they were just at a point where they were just not usable.
So we go through there and we part out everything. So we don't have to repurchase it when a student breaks stuff. Keyboards, batteries,
Yeah.
motherboards, I mean, you name it, we strip it down
Okay.
and reuse it.
So basically what you're saying is what is left is not much?
It's just shell. I can bring some in here and let you see it. It's trash. It
But
really
I
is.
understand the sentiment because we do, when it comes time to surplus vehicles,
Yeah.
things like that, we do reach out to see if someone would, like to take a look, see what we have, and maybe get a jump on the,
Yeah, it's on Gov Deals under
Right.
Radford
Yeah.
City Schools. Go out there and bid.
right.
I was reasonably confident in the
Yeah.
answer. I think it's the exact same conversation we had last year.
I mean, I'll be happy to
and
bring
probably
you
the year
some.
before.
You'll see it's like, holy cow.
No, I'm good. I want to make sure, and also just so everyone who's listening understands that
Yeah.
we're not just throwing iPads out there. They're
Oh, no.
by the time we're done with them,
Well,
they have used.
there is some good
They've
iPads,
had their life.
but they've been locked. We have no way to get into them because Apple will not release them.
Sure.
So we're just,
I appreciate
that's
it.
the way it works, you know.
All right, thanks.
But we got some Graveleys on Gov Deals. I like one Graveley I know of, so check it out.
Okay. Thank you, and that's a great question.
Do we vote to approve that? I need a motion to accept the surplus proposal.
I'll make the motion to accept the surplus proposal.
Second?
I second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed, no. The surplus is approved. Next item is our 6-year comprehensive strategic plan, which is still quite in evidence. And we thank you again, staff and board members and Dr. Seifert and everybody who worked to develop this. Do I have a motion for the adoption?
So moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, no. And the strategic plan is now adopted.
If I may.
You may.
So I am very proud of the work that went into this strategic plan. You guys have heard me say it already, but this is one of the biggest lifts that I think a division has, is to come up with a vision for the next 6 years, knowing how things change. It sometimes it seems a little silly to think about what we might be doing in 6 years, and I understand we revisit it every 2 years. But for this group, Dr. McDaniel, Brian Dye, Dr. Siebert, with his help, we have come up with a plan that we are very proud of. And we look forward to the trajectory that this division is enjoying right now to continue. And great things are happening for Radford City Schools. And we'll look back on this in 6 years and say, yep, we checked all those boxes. So I'm happy to see the bow on this package, and I appreciate your support. And I appreciate your support, Dr. Siebert, and all the work from the staff.
Good
Thank you.
job. Okay. Any policy revisions needed?
No, ma'am?
We're good. And any pending board matters we haven't addressed?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Calfee, could you please lead us into the closed meeting?
Yes, ma'am. I move that the board convene into closed session pursuant to section 2.2-3711A1 to discuss the appointment, resignation, retirement of employees of the school board, as well as section 2.2-3711A8 to discuss consultation with legal counsel employed or retained by public body regarding specific legal matters requiring the provision of legal advice by such counsel. Nothing in this subdivision shall be construed to permit the closure of a meeting merely because an attorney representing the public body is in attendance or is consulted on a matter.
Okay, we are now closed, or do we have to vote? Yeah, second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We are now in closed. Reconvene back into regular session.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So we are back in session. Mr. Calfee, would you certify our closed meeting?
Madam Chair, I certify that only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements by Virginia law, and only such public business matters as were identified in motion by which the closed meeting was convened were heard, discussed, or considered in said meeting by this public body.
Okay. And do I have a motion to approve the personnel matters that were submitted?
We need a second.
Huh?
We need a second.
for the certification.
Oh,
Certification.
excuse me, second for the certification.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, now, do I have a motion to adopt the personnel matters that were discussed in closed session?
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we accept personnel matters 1.0 as discussed in closed session.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, no. We didn't have any tuition students, and we didn't have any student matters. The date for our next regular board meeting will be June 10th, 2025 at 6 p.m. Here at the School Administration Building. We are adjourned.
Thank you. Well done.
Started with the